Right, I'm with UC Irvine head coach Ashlie Hain coming in on her 11th season with the Anteaters. Ashley, great to be with you here today.
You too. Good to see you, Rob.
Big event coming to your home venue, the Brent Event Center. You're hosting the Big West Winds Volleyball Championship. And after the huge success at Long Beach State, what's it mean for you and the program and the university to host such a marquee event?
Yeah, I think the Bren Center is a great venue for it. I think we have one of the best venues in the conference, especially for volleyball. There's not a bad seat in the house. And it is special just to be, a part of that experience and be able to host it, postseason. Last year was a great experience for our girls. It's that feeling of, a playoff game. There's a lot of long matches and a good crowd. And I think we're centrally located, so we'll draw fans from all the teams. So really excited to see how it unfolds and hope to be there, obviously.
When you hear things like that championship last year was one of the highest watched championships, and does that bring any more excitement than just hosting a championship?
Yeah, like I said, I think we're going to get a great crowd for probably all the matches. Just having so many local teams and being at UCI in Orange County, we're so easily accessible. But yeah, just to have eyes on us, I think is just, a really proud moment for all the teams, and to feel like, you accomplished something and got somewhere and have this opportunity to make the next postseason NCAA tournament. It brings a new element of excitement to our conference, and I think hope for the student athletes that there could be a postseason.
Now, I wanted to talk about the experience of the coaching staffs that make up the Big West, because right now about half of them have less than 4 years experience, with the other half, with you being included in that other half, being the more seasoned in their 11th and 10th seasons and so forth. But what have you seen in your time in the Big West as far as competition wise?
Sure. I think, last year having that postseason was huge for us, getting multiple teams in. We were one of the few conferences on the West Coast that did that, to get Santa Barbara and Hawaii in was a really big deal. I think last year, we always have 3 or 4 teams in the top 50 RPI. Then we start beating each other, which is the problem. But I think this year, the conference will probably be the strongest it's ever been. From the time I was a player to the 10 or 11 years I've been coaching here, I think the top 6 spots are going to be really challenging to get into, because everybody's good and the top half are really good.
Well, let's bring the focus to your Anteater team. Last year, the Eaters finished with a 500 record, but they were always in the battle. And like you had mentioned, there were some upsets. Other teams are beating each other that technically on paper they shouldn't have. You bring back 4 starters from a team that fell in 5 sets in the Big West Championships. How do you feel about the Eaters' chances on seeing postseason this year?
I think it's going to be tough. You have to win, all the games you're supposed to win, which is a real big challenge in the Big West. And I think that's surprising for some new coaches. They take it for granted, just how difficult it is to, be in those top 3 spots in the Big West, and not underestimating the bottom 6, I think is really important. But I think, in the Big West, those 3, 4, 5, 6 spots, nobody knows who that is until the final matches. We lost too many 5-setters, I'll say, last season, and it could have gone either way. So, I think there's going to be a lot of long matches. One of ours was, I think, 3.5 hours with challenges now. The game can go a long time, and I expect there to be a lot of 5-set matches.
Well, I mentioned you had a few returners coming back who are big pieces. You definitely have the firebombers of Hunter Riedel and Ella Gardner, but you also return fab freshman Nicole Feliciano, who can set and hit opposite if needed, and Campbell Jensen, libero. What roles do you expect them to play this year?
I think just, it was a challenge last year because Hunter and Ella and Nicole were both new to the program. So it took us some time to figure out their role and play to their strengths. And we've had them this whole off season. So I'm really excited for the girls you mentioned because we've had a whole off season. There's a lot of trust built. We're doing some different things offensively now that we just couldn't do hitting the ground running last season. In addition to those four, we've added Katie Smith, a grad transfer from USC, and she can play any position and is very seasoned as well. So it's just a totally different feeling going into this season with this team. And we only have one incoming freshman in Jessie Bates, and she might be challenging Nicole. They're very similar players. But just to have that depth and that trust built over season makes a huge difference for me going into this season.
Yeah. Now, of your returning starters and this combination of newbies, and some are obviously graduate students and a freshman in the mix, but how do you feel your team is meshing so far here early on in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we had a whole off season together, with the exception of the one incoming freshman and Katie. So there's a lot of trust built. I mean, they love each other. They play well together. We had a great spring. Everybody's getting along right now. So I think we're just that much more prepared to face those long matches and have that trust built and win long matches and win the 5-setters. So I just have a lot of trust in this team.
Now, of all the new faces that you have, what particular athletes could be seeing time on the court for the Anteaters?
Yeah, Katie Smith's a big one. I mean, the grad transfer, and also, she's played a role at SC, and played some of the best, if not the best teams in the country and won. And just having that experience, I think, is going to serve our team really well, and be extremely helpful. We have Kendra Duffy also, who is a transfer from Portland State that was with us in the spring. And she is really athletic and just a really fun player to watch. And then Kendra McDonald, who was hurt a lot of last season and out for injury, is feeling really good. So I think that left side position is just going to be the most competitive it's been for us in some time.
And two more questions for you, Ashlie, but what team mentality or philosophy or motivation have you challenged your team with for the 2024 season?
Yeah, I asked them, I asked the captains the other day, like, what kind of tone do we want to set going into this season? We have some testing we do, and I don't know if you noticed, the weather's pretty hot, and the girls were asking some questions about that, and I was like, hey, it's up to you. What tone do you want to set? What do you want to do here? And they went through with the testing, and everybody passed, and I think it's just about being mentally tough and setting that tone. Like I said, beating the right teams. It takes a lot in this conference just to be consistent and consistently win. So I think the mentality piece and the trust built is going to be the difference maker for us.
Excellent. And one final question. For those who are new to following the Anteaters and your program, if you were to recommend one athlete or a group of athletes to follow, who would those athletes be?
A group of athletes. I don't know. I think each position offers something really exciting for us, and I can't pick a group. I love them all, and they're all been working really hard and support me personally and professionally. So I don't have favorites.
That is an excellent coach response. I love it. Well, Ashlie, I thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.